Do you find the veterinary community more inclusive than, say, the general community at whole, or is there not a difference at all?
I would say there's not really a difference. I wouldn't say I've ever personally experienced anything truly homophobic, but then, as I say, I haven't been out. That I think that's more the case, that we find individuals now that don't want to come out, don't want to reveal that they're gay or, you know, bisexual or transgender, because they just keep it to them, like I did. I didn't, you know, I didn't feel within the practice that was a comfortable place to do that and to say anything at that time. And not because anyone said anything truly nasty, it was more ignorance, and people use terms out of ignorance. And
yes, and the terms are often so oppressive that it makes you disinclined to say anything, because those terms are a prejudgment in some respects, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's mostly what I personally experienced. And yes, there are some awful stories. You know, we hear some of, you know, the committee members have been through really, really, really sad things, and some of the people that are contacting, you know, BVNA LGBT for support and advice are really sad stories. But yeah, I'm not, you know, a sad story in that way personally, but yeah, I've certainly experienced, you know, just general ignorance in terms, or, you know, just silly things like, oh, I don't need the, you know, being shown a new job contract and saying, oh, but I don't need to include anything about maternity pay in your job contract, do I? And I was like,
what?
Okay, well, why do you think that? So yeah, just a funny term.
That's appalling.
Yeah.
So I stunned by that. So, do you? I'm trying to phrase this question. No, me either. I mean, I was going to ask, do you, where you have worked in the past, do you think that that being gay hindered your prospects, or changed the way that you behaved as a vet nurse in a career way?
I kept myself very much to myself for the early part of my career. You know, certainly, you know, I've been out the whole time I've worked at Abbeydale, for instance. That's just been, you know, I was out from the word go, and I can say, you know, at previous places I've worked, I've been a very reserved character, not willing to talk, because I didn't ever want to ask people personal questions, to invite personal questions back, and then, because I never wanted to lie to someone, but I was, in a way, I was almost lying by omission a lot of the time, because I wouldn't reveal certain things, and I would feel I would need to say and be involved in certain conversations that weren't true. And so people I previously worked with probably didn't really know me. That's how I felt. As now, you know, I do feel people know me, and, you know, and I say part of that, you know, I've got the, you know, just taking that leap of faith and trusting in people to respect, again, you know, who I was after coming out was, you know, sort of that big thing.
I suppose that could be as banal as, what are you doing this weekend, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting, because your sexuality has got absolutely no bearing on your ability to do a job. It's got no bearing on your skill set. It's got no bearing on your knowledge.
Or on your sense of compassion,
empathy,
well-being, sociability, all of these things. Do you tell us at any stage to butt out of our own business, but do you think that you lost friends, or people that you thought were friends at this time? Were the people that well, no, I'm not.
No.
I can't handle that.
I would say I didn't even make friends because I felt that people weren't friends if I couldn't converse with them on a personal level. I wouldn't let them, you know, know much about me. So I had a lot of acquaintances in previous jobs, but I've got very few friends from before my 30s. Yeah, it is now looking back, and I wish I could go back and tell my younger self something different. But and again, this is why, you know, I think, you know, linking back into, you know, sort of people coming out as role models is so important to say, you know, you know, you can still do all this with your career, because absolutely, you know, who you are actually doesn't have that impact. You know, you're not going to be stifled in what you want to achieve just because of who you love, and how you choose to live your life.
So, okay, so if you could turn the clock back then, Sam. So you're I don't know, let's choose your age, 18 years old. What would you have liked to have been able to tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self now, looking back?
I would hopefully want to show my younger self a role model of someone who's a lesbian, who has done well in her career, who has friends, who accept who she was, and will not judge her based on that, and to know then what I could have achieved, because all the way through, I very much myself look to role models of, oh, you know, you've got your diploma in advanced veterinary nursing, that's brilliant. I really want to strive to do that. Or, you know, I go to BVNA Congress and see the BVNA president. Oh my gosh, that's something I really wanted to do. But I would have liked that one person to connect with me then on that personal level and say, do you know what? Yeah, I can do that. And that's what it took in the end. It took me meeting some now really good friends of mine and seeing, you know, that they're a lesbian couple and how well they lived, and how, you know, you could do that. Life wasn't going to be extra hard because I was gay, or it was going to be, you know, much different. And it took them as my role models to say, right, okay, now I need to develop my personal life as well. I've done, you know, I've worked my career, and now I want to develop my personal life, and it took that sort of role model. So yeah, I would have liked that back when I was younger as well. Right. And they just weren't there. You know, people were very closed doors then.
Yeah, that would have changed your progression from 18 to 30.
Yeah, and it's a very sliding doors moment, isn't it? You know, what would I have been like now?
Absolutely, a different journey.
I don't know, you know, have I gone on this journey for the better now? You know, have I got more to give and more to tell having done that? Or what would, you know, it's amazing, isn't it? When you turn left to turn right, you know, what can change at that point?